Yeah, man. Greetings once again. Aba ayalewa amlak. Eruseke mankamun. Silo samanzi zinyolengweni. Umbandla lo chaya ngumbono ukuthi umandla nodlumvubu ukhipha utyede. Bakwethu silwile nalensizwe. Ya silwile kakhulu futhi and yeah. Ngize la vele ngizitshela ukuthi Ricky ngifuna ukulwa nawe. So if it does appear in the first episode, but I did highlight.
I covered you. When I opened the session, the discussion, I said, please don't let that be the discussion.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier on, I believe I'm opening the door for you to have a conversation with the right person.
Yeah.
There's someone who's going to hear you and then is going to send you a message and say, hey, we must get used to that.
We must plant get used to that.
Plant a seed for someone.
The thing is, ultimately, we need to speak on a level yoguti emotions aside.
Yeah.
Right? Passion forward. Yes, passion on, like we cannot negate passion. We cannot. It's part of us. It's human nature. It's what is divine about us.
Yeah.
Right? Like showing your, like ufana no a friend of yours you haven't seen for 10 years.
Yeah.
Passion. So now we are both passionate about what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I'm very passionate about my beliefs and my thoughts, you know. And omunye uzothi omnika chance yokuphendula
it had to come out.
Ninjalo.
It had to come out.
Right? If you're not comfortable with that, I'm waiting chom. Otherwise, this is me.
Yeah.
Namhlanje Ricky silwile. And I'm going to say this. If you are a spokesperson of the Christian institution, you haven't convinced me out here.
Yeah.
And this is not you alone.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this because Kombawen. I remember Kronstadt when I was completing my studies, my initiations. Go Verksman Ubabunkonka, Kronstadt. One day is busy lapayana ngenza amathayili. I'm also ngenza amathayili. I'm handy. I'm very handy. So ngibhizi ngenza amathayili lapha esontweni in the temple yabo. I don't go to church, I go to temple. So ngibhizi ngenza amathayili lapha etempeleni, ngenza amathayili. And abantu babhizi lapha etempeleni yakhiwe yimi ngezandla zami yazi abanayo no donkey. But anyway, that's a story for another day. I built that busy. So who figure this man but to Bishop Mukwena. Some big church. I won't call the name of the church because abantu bazoyoma attack ke manje. But he's a bishop. Afike ku bishop lapha esontweni athi angidlule lapha eminyango. Athi uphi umuntu omdala la esontweni. Ngidayi ukhona gedini. Athola ubaba uNkonka ke uhleli lapha my teacher.
Yeah.
Athi no, I'm here to discuss yabo about God, the Bible and I want us to have like a kind of debate. And if I win the debate, your church joins my church.
Yeah, no, that's not
right. And if you win the debate, my church joins your church. This man is about 109, 10 at that time. He's an old man. So Ati umkhulu, okay, if you want to have that discussion, yabona lo umuntu omdlule lapha eminyango lo wenza amathayili. I'm your kulumana.
You don't know what you don't know, basically.
So he comes back to me.
Yeah.
And he tells me this thing, okay, no problem. Let's settle a day where we're going to talk. So what points are we going to talk about? He says, no, we're talking about the doctrine of Christ.
Okay.
Okay, here's the points. When did Christ go to church? Why did Christ go to church? What is the teachings of Christ? What are the teachings of the church? And those differences. But every single thing must be quoted in the Bible. He says that.
Okay.
Perfect. Ungikhothisa iBhayibheli uyazi ukuthi iBhayibheli uSinderella wami is my bedtime story book. Right. So we meet. He comes to us first to the temple, Slangane. Then discussion starts.
Okay.
Khulunywe. And then sibane problem ke manje. Because whatever he's saying is doctrinal, yes. But it's unquotable in the Bible.
Okay.
He can't quote it in the Bible. But it's Christianity. Yes, I know it. I hear it. I understand. But where is it in the Bible? Like I asked you, show me where Jesus is the Lion of Judah. And you couldn't. You can't. It's
But I
impossible.
explained it.
You can explain it all you want, but it is not factual. It is not written anywhere that Jesus, the son of Joseph, is the Lion of Judah, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. It is not written anywhere. I can bring you stacks and stacks of books, non-religious books, Britannicas, encyclopedias, researchers, or anthropologists, right? Who will show you that Haile Selassie is the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, written down, not by me. Now we're speaking about something that we can take as evidence, not something that we want to believe as your own fantasy, right? You fantasize that Jesus is the Lion of Judah. I'm giving you fact that Emperor Haile Selassie was the King of Kings. So I'm not talking that now. So now he couldn't show me in the Bible, just like you. You can explain all you want. He explained all he wanted, but he could not show me in the Bible. First question I asked him, why do you go to church on Sunday? Did Jesus say go to church on Sunday? Did the Bible say go to church on Sunday? Did God say go to church on Sunday? Or was it a Catholic catechism that stated we, of the authority of God bestowed upon the church, have power to change time and season?
It's a Pope.
All right. So why do Christians go to church on Sunday? Is it God or Pope?
It is actually the Bible.
Fact now, not belief.
Yeah, no. The Bible does say, do not let anybody judge you on what day of worship you choose.
And then
That's
why
what the
did
Bible
God
says.
say keep and honor the Sabbath day holy?
Okay, now remember.
No. We speak in fact here, not beliefs. Why did God say keep the Sabbath day holy and honor it? When did Jesus go to temple?
But you have to consider both. Because remember, when you're talking about established doctrine, he says you on one or two points or on one or two witnesses is a thing established. So in the Old Testament, it's very clear that they went. The Sabbath was for rest. It wasn't even meant for worship. It was meant for rest.
Come with it.
And so
Come with it.
So it was meant for people to actually take a rest and whatnot. And this is why you see them being so restrictive about what they could do. And the chores, the things that you actually see them talk about, it's actually chores. You cannot pick up stones. Where are you picking up stones? Are you picking up stones at the temple? No. Take it away. You're picking up stones at home. You're picking up sticks and all these things. So the chores tell you what it was. So I don't know what your position is on that, but you'll tell me after. But then when you
is exactly where you are putting me.
Okay, so then when you come into the New Testament, they went on the Sabbath because remember they were still part of the Jewish temple. The only thing that actually separated the Jews that were Christians by that period is because they started getting heavy persecutions. And remember, Jews have a culture where if you start to deviate, they will cut you off, right? And so they will cut you off. And so when they cut you off, that's why in the book of Acts, you see them dividing their wealth amongst each other because they were cut off from society. So you couldn't even partake in anything. And so to answer you, they started choosing the day that was more suiting for where they were because they were now isolated. And it was clear that they were being pushed out of Judea in clear things. So the Bible does actually show, even Paul does write it to say, do not let anybody judge you on what day or whether someone esteems a day. He says, let each and every person be convinced in his own mind. So it's not something we should set within the church. If a person wants to worship on Friday, they can do so. And if a person wants to worship on Sunday, they should do so. I believe that.
Okay. Yazi ngibambelani isandla. Engikhuluma umdodi yo.
It's fine.
Khuluma into yakho. And this is why ngisho ka ngiyadlala.
It's fine. I don't take offense with that.
Ngiyadlala mfowethu. You don't take offense because you know the spirit in which
Yeah.
Lo bukele loya nangu
Offended.
Lapha uzobhala ingoma ngami athi yawu awuthuka uri.
It's not that deep.
You understand? So he needs to understand ngikhuluma naye ukuthi he understand angithuki wena.
Yeah.
Ngiyidlalela. But this is where now You get it. You answered me and uzwanga ukuthi angiphendula.
Okay.
And you just showed me ukuthi this whole Christian thing is a game.
Okay.
It's a facade. Uthi wena, when they speak about the precepts of the Sabbath, right? They're speaking about rest.
Yes.
First of all, asikhulume nje, uyaphumula. Relax out, yam. Don't do anything. And then they list the laws of the Sabbath.
Right. Hey.
When they list the laws of the Sabbath, uthi wena ngowakho umlomo.
Yes.
Ukhulunywa ngama-chores. Ungaclean endlini, ungadobha amatshe, ungabasa umlilo, ungapheki, ungakhiphi inkomo esibayeni, ungenzi ini, ungashaya umfazi, yabo into ezinjalo. All right. Meaning these are things that happen in everyday life.
Okay.
So for today, relax out, young, and just meditate on God. You know? That's the Sabbath. Yes. According to your mouth.
Yes.
Uthi-ke futhi-ke wena in the New Testament, kunalaba abazifaka esikweni lalaba. Right?
Yeah.
Kunalama Arab azifaka esikweni lamaXhosa. AmaXhosa bathi no asikwazi uhlala nani esibayeni madoda ningamakhwenkwe nina anolukanga. So xa sizoniphakela ngapha kobuhlanti. Thina sizotyela ngapha kobuhlanti. Now what you are saying is, and then there were those Gentiles, right? Who were not readily accepted within the culture of the Jews. Point number 2, ngisakubalela lama points wapha ngithi uphendulile. Point number 3 wathi uPaul ke manje nalabantu laba banga acceptwanga in the culture of the Jews created a pseudo culture for them. What not no man judge you for when you do what and what.
Yes.
All right. Was the church in that history oichazile?
Yeah, that was Paul. He was a Jew as well.
No.
He was saying
the question is, from the keeping of the Sabbath to the Jews rejecting the Gentiles to the Gentiles keeping whatever day.
Yes.
Was there an institution called church?
No.
Right. Why do Christians go to church? That was my question.
Remember, it comes from the Judaism. But then once the war... No. It comes from...
Ricky, was there a church in any period in the Bible?
No, in the Bible, it's not thinking, but you see it in the book of Acts. Once it starts forming, once they start...
No. The book of Acts is in the Bible, Ricky.
Yes, it's there.
In the whole entire Bible, all 26,000 versions of it, was there a church institution in the Bible?
Yes.
No, Ricky.
Let's understand,
Ricky. We are talking about chores here. Okay. The Sabbath laws, the laws of the Sabbath say, keep the Sabbath holy and honor the Sabbath. Do not do your everyday chores, right? It didn't say go to church.
Yes.
Number 2, Jews everywhere in the world went to church, to temple or synagogue. First of all, let's go to synagogue. Synagogue was a community center, first of all.
Yes.
When they used to sit and talk about inkinga zala. It's a synagogue, inkundla. There's no God enkundleni. There's men talking about the problems zala in the community synagogue. Temple, who was the pastor in the temple in the Bible?
No, that's a different structure.
No. My question, in the temple, according to the Bible,
there was a high priest. There was a high priest.
High priest. Who was the pastor in the Bible? Pastor Ezekiel, Pastor Jeroboam, Pastor Ban.
I don't know.
There was no pastor.
There is no such
Who was the evangelist in the Bible? Evangelist Kuzwayo, Evangelist Banban, who was in the Bible? Evangelist Yahuda, Evangelist Nehemiah, who was the evangelist in the Bible?
That gets established once they are... No. Okay. You want to hear what the answer is, right?
Sorry.
So this stuff gets established once they get out, once they are spreading the message outside of Judea.
All right. So it's not even in the culture of the Jews. Pastorship, evangelism, bishopric, and all these church titles are not even part of the culture of the Jews. They're not even part of the culture of Jesus.
Can I just phrase something there?
Okay.
If you go to the Old Testament, I think it's in Jeremiah and Isaiah, when he's rebuking the false dreamers and whatnot, he does mention these are pastors. He does that particular phrasing of a pastor. Remember, comes back from leading and whatnot. It is there, but it's not it was not part of how they.
It was not a clerical
Yes,
title.
yes.
Now,
that's
my
the word.
question is, the Christian clerical titles
Yes.
are outside the Jewish tradition, culture of
Yes,
Jesus.
yes.
All right. First, why do Christians go to church?
Why do we go to church? It's that aspect of union in doctrine. We believe the same thing.
No.
We are.
Okay, it's aspect of it's fellowship.
Yes, fellowship.
All right,
Yes.
Fellowship based on what? A religion or a
On the man.
specific culture?
On the man, Christ.
Who had a culture, who practiced a culture,
Yeah, but it's more on the
who
man.
attended inkundla zakokwabo. It's written in the book of Matthew.
Yes.
Jesus was in the synagogue in Bethlehem. Jesus was in the synagogue in Jerusalem. Jesus was in the synagogue in Bethel. So ebehamba inkundla zamabandla wakokwabo ngesiXhosa.
Yes.
Right. Ezakokwenu nina maKristu ziphi?
So remember, we follow in the man. So once the religion centers around the man, because remember the Hebrews. Let me pre-open it by this. Hebrews chapter number 1. It literally starts like this. In past times, God spoke to you through the prophets, but now He has spoken to you through the Son. So it's very clear. Christianity then centers around the man. It's more than
us.
But
then
that's why,
with your own mouth, Uti, the Gentiles were ostracized according to the culture of the Jews.
No, it wasn't Gentiles, by the way. It's also part of those who were Jews. The people like Peter, whatnot, they had to go. They were being pushed out because they were causing a chaos inside the synagogue. So they started.
I get that. That is Jewish politics.
Okay, yes.
The Jews, they are the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the scribes and the Hasidim and the Essens, all these people.
Yes.
Because remember, besakhuluma ngesynagogue, right?
Yes.
Ukuthi synagogue inkundla.
Yes.
And then there was temple in Judaism.
Yes.
Temple is where the high priest and the priests, the sons of Aaron, they're known as the Kohaim, the Kohen, right? The priestly family, the children of Levi, the children of Aaron, the children of all the priestly order of, and if you like, you say the Levite race, the Levite clan of the Jews. The priests performed rituals.
Yes.
They did not teach doctrine. True or false?
They did, because
in the Bible, no. In the Bible, people went with goats, sheep, cows, birds, chickens to the priest to perform an offering ritual.
The culture was ingrained.
Simeon, when Jesus was born, his parents took him to Simeon, to the high priest in the Bible.
Yes.
Did he teach a sermon or did he perform a ritual according to the culture of the Jews?
Remember what we said in the first episode. We highlighted that God expressed himself through that culture. So yes, it was under their culture to do that. So
and
that was
culture of the God didn't express himself in his cause.
No. Remember,
it's a simple question.
It's not a rejection of, but he didn't express himself through that. He expressed
and then the
that.
principles of Isintu, Inhlonipho, Uthando, are those not godly?
These are common human traits.
They are not godly. They are common human traits. They are not godly.
They are common. It's human decency.
And then what are the traits of being godly?
Those particular things that you're saying, those are general. Those are general. That must be general. It must be something we expect.
Are they not divine? They are not godly.
No. They're just human.
And then what are the traits of a godly person?
Let's start here.
What are the traits of a godly person?
Do we agree that these particular things like kindness and this is what we expect? This must be common.
This is why it is Isintu. It's common for abantu to be kind, to be respectful, to be courteous. It's common.
We can't make that godly.
We say it's godly. Is it not godly?
No, we don't want to do that.
What are the traits of being godly?
See,
how do we see a godly man?
A godly, no, those are just traits. But remember, the wolf in sheep clothing.
How do we see a godly man?
Abba, let me just highlight this. I think from a doctrinal perspective, so when I'm reasoning something, it comes from the subconscious. So when we say someone is godly, the whole aspect of these particular traces do not highlight godliness. Godliness is the reflection of God's character.
How do we see it in a man? That's my question.
How do we see godliness?
How do we see a godly man? Because ngesintu, umuntu onenhlonipho, othanda abantu, owenza izinto kahle, uyathembeka, sithi hey, umuntu kaThixo ke lowa. ngesixhosa ke motho wa modimo ke lo ngesitswana or ngesipedi, right? How do you Christians see a godly man physically?
A godly man
What are
is
the traits of a godly man?
doctrinally upright.
What is that? What is
Is that
doctrinally upright?
if the doctrine says do not do this, you don't do that. That's what says you are
What?
upright.
How do I'm saying respect, courteousness,
No, this is common.
helpfulness.
That's common decency.
What are then list for me the traits of a godly man?
Like I said, what does the doctrine teach about uprightness?
Okay, Islam teaches that doctrinally.
Yes.
Islam teaches that if I teach you about Allah and you do not accept Allah, I have a religious right to kill you and your family.
I came from there, by the way.
It's called jihad,
Yeah,
right?
which is nonsense.
No. It's doctrinal.
Yes,
though.
yes.
We have the crusades of the special boy, golden boy Christians. If you do not accept Christ, I have the religious right to wipe out everything.
Yes.
Crusades happened. That's how Christianity was spread. Missionarism. The missionaries sat down in a conference and discussed people they don't even know and labeled them savage
Yeah.
and said they have a divine prerogative.
That's why I said common descent.
The divine mission to civilize these savages. And they came here, raped, killed, murdered, ostracized, locked us up, colonized us. Now, what are the traits of a Christian godly man? Ngoba ngesintu, inhlonelo, ukuzithoba, ukuthembeka, ukuthanda. Ngesi-Christian.
That does not describe a godly person. But wait. Okay, wait.
In Christianity.
Okay, wait. That's why I said, doctor, listen, you have to understand why I say that. If I'm saying that, I'm saying that for a reason. I'm saying that because if we now get into what doctrines, it now becomes a long conversation about that.
I'm asking,
understand? Okay, wait.
How do I see a Christian godly man?
Don't use character. Do not use character. Understand? Guys, listen. That's not godliness. That's not godliness. You're talking about. No, okay, wait. Listen, guys. You're talking about what deeds do they portray? These things can be faked. A person that does not state godliness. You have to understand. It's doctrine.
Uriki uti. People can pretend and fake.
Yes, you can fake character.
Now, as keep a individual a fakayo or enga fake. Let's speak philosophically.
What does the doctrine say?
My man, according to the doctrine, yesintu. Umuntu onobuntu, umuntu o-exhibita uthando, inhlonipho, inhlonelo, ukuthembeka. You understand? Ukuhlangana. 5. I'm just listed 5. Right? Ngesintu, according to the doctrine, yesintu. These are the traits by which we perceive ukuthi lo unobuntu. According to Christianity, what are the 5 traits you see that exhibit lo muntu ugodly?
Those are the same. It's the same thing. It's that these things, if we use these things to define godliness, it's very shallow. If you read, for example, the book of the If you read Galatians, it speaks about the fruit of righteousness, right?
Okay. What are the fruits
when
of
it speaks of this fruit, when it speaks of the fruit of righteousness, it says kindness, self-control, all these things. So those are things that
the things that I'm listing.
Yeah, but remember, yes.
It's so the Galatians listed as the fruits of righteousness.
Fruit of
righteousness?
Yes.
Right? Consciousness.
Yes.
2 words put together.
Yes.
Right? Consciousness create righteousness.
Yes.
So now it's the consciousness of right. So, and you are saying, according to the listing of the fruits of right, the things that we see
Patience,
of
peace.
a righteous person,
Yes.
yes.
So
Therefore, they are divine or not.
So that's it. That's the thing. You see?
Are the fruits of righteousness
Do you understand?
divine or not? Are they godly or not?
Let's be very clear. This is why I'm careful to classify those acts as what states a person as holy, because those are common decency. We should expect you to be upright. We should expect you not to be violent. We should expect you, but this doesn't say you are holy. What states a godly person? This is what's going to come out of you. What I'm getting from you is this.
What I'm getting from you is this.
Yes.
the Christian worldview of humanity
Yes.
is that you are all motherfuckers. You are all sinners. This is the
Yes.
Christian worldview
Yes.
of everybody in the world.
Yes.
You are all born in a dungeon of nonsense.
Every single one of us.
And except you say Jesus.
Yes, that's what makes you godly.
Okay. Ngiyakuzwa manje, I thank you.
That's what makes you godly.
Now, mamela ke ngikutsheleke mntwana kababa.
That's what makes you godly.
Lalela ke ngikudisappoint. Have you ever been to the tribe of the Bolongo? You ever heard about the tribe of Bolongo? They are deep in the jungles of Congo. They've never seen a white man in their life. They've never heard of Jesus in their life. Are you telling me that they are all motherfuckers going to hell?
They are not born again. They are not saved. They are all going to hell.
Oh! Save me a place, Satan. Yes, Salapo. Ndingumxhosa mna. Yes, esihogweni awutyam mina. Ricky, that's what Christianity
This
thinks.
is what
Mamela awutyam. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. What happens to the man who gave birth to the man who gave birth to you? Because he was not a Christian.
I'm responsible for what I believe. I'm not responsible for what they believe.
Angithi ba responsible. Ngithi, are you saying
Yes.
ukuthi indoda ezala wena iye esihogweni yona right now?
Anyone who's not saved, who's not born again, who has not received Jesus, they're all going to hell.
Right. Before AD 2000, the year zero, the Anno Domino, the year
Before
of our
Jesus.
Lord. No, not before. When he was born, Anno Domino, year zero.
The year, okay.
Right? When he was born, all the people before him,
If they were not,
this is where Christians become confused now in their logic. Abraham never accepted Jesus as his Lord and Savior. Are you saying Abraham is in hell?
Jesus was not. No, remember, this is the. Okay, wait, you are off the mic.
Abraham. No, simple thing. Abraham never accepted Jesus as his Lord and Savior. True or false?
Let me answer.
True or false?
Let me answer.
Before you answer, true or false?
Let me answer.
No. Before you answer, true or false?
We are clear on that. I don't need to say yes. I don't need to say no.
It's a simple choice. A or B, true or false?
Abba.
Did Abraham accept Jesus as his personal Lord and Savior?
But that's a question that you know the answer for. Why are we repeating?
Answer it.
Okay, so give me a second, okay?
No. A or B, yes or no?
Ushagakul.
Oh,
Ushagakul.
yes or no?
Ushagakul. So let's be clear. Those that came before Jesus, remember, they had a tradition of how they were reconciled to God, right? That's the Christian doctrine. If you don't believe it, it's fine.
No, I believe it. I know it. It's called the act of atonement.
Yes.
They had rituals. They had all of this and scapegoats. And are you saying Abraham is in hell? That's where
he's not in hell because
he did not accept Jesus.
But remember, that's why we have to come to now the fulfillment. This is what does Jesus? What does wait. What does Ushagaku Naminzo Shaman? What does Jesus say to John the Baptist when he's baptizing him? He tells him,
I may
suffer not, so that may all righteousness may be fulfilled.
I may fulfill.
Yes, it's on him.
Where did that righteousness come from? What is the template of the righteousness he's fulfilling? He says,
Jesus,
I am not here to change, nor to divert the laws of the prophets and the traditions.
Yes.
Did he not say that? Yes. I am here to fulfill. What was the template of the righteousness that Jesus was fulfilling? Was it not amasiko kokomkulu bakena?
Okay, so
yes or no?
Let's you ask a question that took you 2 minutes. So first, we have to be very clear here that the tradition that was there before was premised on building. It was a building. It was the building blocks. That was foundation. Okay? And so when Jesus comes, he comes to fulfill that which was unfulfilled. Because remember, they could only cover their sins for a year during the rituals. And so when Jesus comes, he becomes high priest forever, one sacrifice for all time. So there is a complete change. So if you address the old Amasigo without acknowledging the change of time frame, you're speaking outside of Christianity.
Right.
There was a change when Jesus comes.
I heard you. Uti. They survived 1 year atonement and according to their culture. And you're saying that building, was a foundation of something to come. Are you saying that for 5,500 years, according to biblical calculations now, not according to the true calculations of the Ethiopian Bible, not true, but the other, you must remember, the Ethiopian Bible calculates Jewish time in jubilees, 49 years. So you say the world was created in 7 days. Ethiopians say they was created in 49 times 7 years. No. This is what I'm saying. I'm a Christian. You are confused as a bunch. One Christian says God created the world in 7 days. The other Christians say, no, it was a period of jubilees, 49 years, right? And it's a Christian doctrine. You can go to any Orthodox Christian or say Ethiopia uzokutshela. And then you get to the Eastern Orthodox, they'll tell you, no. It was 7 periods of 7 years, right? So, Uguti 7 days is very, 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 very subjective. Uguti kolelwa kwe church wena. I'm not on that. My point here is this. In the Old Testament to the New Testament, let's take your biblical understanding of the 7 days, right? 5,000 years, 5,500 years, right? Between Adam and Jesus, right? In that period of 5,500 years in the nation of the Jews, are you telling me that these motherfuckers lived for 5,500 years building a culture?
Yes. All of them. They were all building on what was established.
It took 5,000 years to build a culture that you're going to destroy anyway.
No, you're not going to destroy it. Understand? No, guys. Let's understand something here.
It took AmaZulu in South Africa 200 years to establish a Zulu identity and culture. 5,000 enzalo mara that's why besahamba 40 years esigangeni distance 11 days amajuda wana ngqondo.
Let's be
ayabona mawuzo believe amadelay kanjalo I'll tell you are playing with your soul.
Let's
No, you are not advocating for Christianity correctly. I'll tell you, are you saying that before Jesus was born,
okay, let me
nobody went to heaven?
Let me answer you on portraying the Christian faith properly.
No, my question,
Ima, you said it, I have to answer it. And I feel pressed to answer it. The Bible says, always be ready to give an answer for the hope that is in you. Every person speaks from the hope that is within them. That's why, Paula, you speak from the hope that is in you. I speak from the hope that is in me. I'm confused. I'm not confused. Okay? Let's be very clear. That's what I believe.
So, before everybody went to hell.
Before Jesus, there was a system of atonement. Okay, and all of this, all the sacrifice that was done by that period. Remember,
that's what you said.
Yeah, and they had to go back.
So now my question
every single year.
Before Jesus, if the year did not finish or atone, did everybody die before Jesus go to hell? Now
they were forgiven.
All right.
So
let me
they went to.
Let me enlighten you a bit. In the forgotten books of the Bible, the lost books of Eden, Mamel, it's written not by me. It's written by Christian church fathers, the very people you are quoting. So don't be subjective now.
Which one? You can quote which one?
The Bible yourself,
you were saying the lost books.
The Bible yourself you are reading and believing in was written by a man who was probably drunk of cheap wine, right? I'm quoting a book that was written by a man as well. Quote. So now, listen again. It says, listen. In the Apocrypha now, in the Apocrypha, which is inside some other Bibles, right? In the Apocrypha, it says, when Jesus died, right? He went to hell, right?
Yes.
And Satan himself had from Abraham, from Adam, down to Malachi, the last prophet before Jesus, they were all bound in hell. And then when Jesus came, the people of hell, it's written, it's not by me, it's Christian tradition. You know the verse in Psalms 24 that says, lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors. David stood up in hell and quoted that psalm and said, this is the King of glory I was talking about. This is the conqueror of all battles. Jesus, it's written in Christian tradition. Do your research, don't believe me. I'm a donkey. Right? Don't believe me. Research it. Jesus went down to hell. It says when he died on Golgotha and gave up the spirit, his soul went straight down to hell. This is Christian mysticism or Christian doctrine or Christian nonsense. You call it what you want. He went to hell. David saw him coming and the foundations of hell started shaking. David stood up and said, lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, that the King of glory may come in. The demons and everybody else asked, who is this King of glory? And David says, he is the one who conquered all battles. He is the King of glory. And Jesus went into, you know this, you Christians say all the time, he took the keys to the gates of hell, right?
Yes, that's
all right. Who was he releasing there? When he took the keys to the gates of hell, who the blood clot was he releasing? He was releasing his own ancestors from Adam.
Let me answer that.
Now, according to Christianity, everybody before Jesus went straight to hell.
Let me answer that. Okay. So there is what we know as the bosom of Abraham, right? You know about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's known as paradise in something.
Paradise. Now you're talking Dante, a Latin poet.
No, he copied it.
No.
We're talking about late writings.
What is paradise? What is paradise in the Hebrew language?
So let's be very clear.
In the Hebrew tongue, what is paradise?
Let's be very clear. No, that's not the topic.
It is the topic because I'm telling you how
you are deviating.
I'm not.
You're deviating.
I
was explaining where the dead people are.
Where are they?
Okay, I'm explaining where the dead people are. So let's not go defining Hebrew words and whatnot.
We have
start. No. Let's start here.
According to the Hebrew tradition, you die, you go to Sheol.
So you die, you went to this particular place.
Sheol.
Now, you went to this place.
Sheol. In the original Hebrew, Sheol. Say it.
That's fine. It's fine.
No, say it.
No. I'm not going to. So you died, you went to this place. And then, and it is very clear when you see the story of, for example, in the book of Luke, of Abraham, Lazarus and the rich man. That story exhibits for you.
Perfect story.
Exhibits for you how they all were taken, where they were all taken from.
Because they were all taken to a common place.
To where there was a division.
But it's a common place.
Yeah, it's a common
place. We are
place.
in the dining room, Lababase kitchen.
Yeah.
Same house.
So it's in the same house.
All right.
There is hell on the other side. There is paradise on the other side.
Not hell. No. You are saying
Let me explain it. Okay. Let me explain it. Okay. So they could clearly see each other. The rich man could see
and they could talk to each other.
And they could talk.
Okay.
And in that conversation, it is very clear. We do not have relations because we are, you've made your own. And then so that place, we know for a fact that it cannot be there now. Why? Because they were held there. So they are not in hell, the place where you are talking about. They were in Paradiso, as you may put it, as you may within things.
All right.
Is it clear?
No, it's not. Let me make it clear for you. That place you are talking about yes. Abraham, and this is the problem about religion. If you want to adhere to a religion, and you're going to say, I'm talking to the cameras, and Kulma Nabo Vela, Kulma now. When was in New York, here's the problem about religion and spirituality and everything for that matter. It has a problem, Yoguti. If you remove it from the people who came up with it, you are distorting it, right? If you are going to remove the story that was created by Hebrews that is suitable for their traditions and culture and make it yours, you are going to distort it.
Yes.
Right.
You're right about that.
Okay, I get you. According to, this is why I asked you for the Hebrew words for what you are saying. According to the Hebrew culture and tradition, you will discover that in the time of Jesus now, in the temple of Jerusalem, there were Pharisees, right? Were they true Jews? The Pharisees.
They were. Yes, they were bloodline. They
were citizens of Rome with a Hellenic Greek education. And they were teaching a Greek system in Jerusalem. You know that?
You can go on.
Now you do. They were the Sadducees. Who were the Sadducees? They were the zealots, the Jews who kept to Jewish tradition. And the biggest debate between the Sadducees and the Pharisees
It was the healthy.
was resurrection of the dead, because the traditional Jews believed when you die, you go to Sheol.
Yes.
The Greeks came with their ideas of paradisio. And this is why the Pharisees and the Sadducees had a debate. And then there was the Hasidims. You know them?
Yes.
They believed ukuthi death does not exist at all. You leave your physical body and you ascend to a spiritual world. So they did not even debate hell or heaven. Do you know about that?
Yes.
They were the Essenes in the same temple at the same time. You know about the Essenes? What were they teaching? God is within man. The kingdom of God is at hand. God is within you. You are co-inheritors to the kingdom of God as Christ. Christ was an Essene, right? Okay, I taught you something new else today. Now,
He's a Nazarite. He's a Nazarite. You guys, you like
Nazarites are Essenes.
Okay, wait, just a second.
Nazarites are Essenes.
Just wait, Abba, wait.
Nazarites are Essenes.
You're talking to people that might not know this particular church. Let's be very clear here.
Let's be very
clear.
Ricky, I'm sitting here with you.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, the Nazarites are, my brother,
Yes.
Essenes.
No problem. But the problem that I'm having with your descriptions is that you paint, you take it, you describe it your way. You don't want to describe it
I'm
how
telling you the historical thing. I'm not talking denomination or church.
Okay.
I'm talking the history of Jerusalem. I'm talking about the history of the Jews. These are the 5 orders that existed in the temple.
So you were on the paradise thing.
Now, I'm telling you now, 5 different schools of thought in the same temple system. Only one believes in paradise and hell. Only one, the Pharisees, who, by the way, are educated by foreigners, Greeks. Can we accept that?
I cannot speak.
It's not church, it's not religion, it's fact.
Let's be very
the Pharisees are educated by the Greeks in a Hellenic system.
But them believing in heaven and hell, it's not that. Wait. Because you are saying that we
the
believe.
Sadducees don't have that in their discourse. The Essenes don't have that in their discourse. The Nazarenes don't have that in their discourse. The Hasidims don't have that in their. It is only the Pharisees.
Abba, you trust people too much. You trust humans too much. Okay, people make mistakes.
Who must I trust? Aliens.
Wait. These particular people, they had their flaws. Let's understand that. Okay, the Bible teaches about heaven and hell, and because you have a bunch of
where in
people,
the Bible?
Yeah?
Where in the Bible?
It's very clear. Jesus taught it all
where
throughout.
In the Bible?
Like I said, Jesus taught it all throughout.
Where? Specifically where he said says, heaven and hell.
He even says, it is better for you to have your thingy to cut off your hand than for you to lend your entire body to hell.
No. He says it is better to cut off your hand than to allow it to lead you into making a mistake.
Well, okay.
He says,
wait. Is it better for you to? Is it better for you to rephrase?
Hey, uyangifatisa ke manje uJesu ngukhuboni ngumafu ngungwenya ngudlambulo mamela uthi it is better to cut off your hand if it's leading you into sin.
Abba, wait.
If your hand is leading you into sin, cut it off.
Abba, stop.
Okay. No,
I phrased it right. I phrased it.
There's no heaven.
And I didn't. There is hell.
No. If your hand is leading you to sin,
so why were you re-quoting it? When you're re-quoting it, you're making me sound like I didn't quote it. I was right about the quote, right? Was I not right about the quote?
It does not speak about heaven and hell. It says if your hand is leading you to sin, cut it off.
So what I said.
If your eye is leading you to sin,
so what I said.
Where is hell? Where is heaven there?
You just quoted it. If your eye is leading you to hell, you just said it.
To sin.
Yes.
So not hell, sin.
Okay.
If your hand is making you steal, cut the damn thing off. Where's hell? Ricky, come on.
So okay, let's go back. Let's go back.
Come on, Ricky.
Let's go back. Maybe I misquoted that. Let's be very clear. But you are clear that Jesus did preach about hell. Right?
No.
You're not clear on that.
Where? I'm still asking, where in the Bible did Jesus talk about hell?
Do you want me to quote it?
Please. Go to Google, find it. Please quote it. I beg you.
He met Satan and it came from inside of him.
So wait.
Let's stick to this one.
Okay, let's go back before we go there because this was was not part of the discussion.
No, we are talking about it now. Please, where did Jesus talk about it? We can't move on if we can't answer simple, direct questions. Show me where Jesus.
You're having a conversation with me.
Show me.
You're having a conversation with
me.
You
were about to show me something.
I want to highlight something. If we are talking about, if we said that we are going to talk about specific things concerning that, we'll be talking about that. I'll give you the verses.
Do it.
Then. And so give me time to bring up the verses.
I'm quiet. I'm giving you time.
Let's do that.
While you're searching it, in the 1300s, 1311, there was a poet in Italy called Dante. Dante wrote a poem called Inferno. Right? Oh, he wrote a poem. Inferno. Now, in this poem, he described the journey of a man.
My Wi-Fi is too far.
He described the journey of a man. And in this journey, he says, when man goes within himself, he goes through a state called purgatory. Right? In purgatory, he gets now corrected or chosen or ruyapi. After that, if his guilt is too much, he goes to inferno, where everything that he did wrong is going to be burnt away in the fire. Hence the fire of transformation, the fire that gets rid of all negativity. And after he goes through inferno, he ascends to paradisio. This is the journey of a man going through depression. Example, when you are going through a state of depression, you are sitting down, judging yourself, remembering everything that's been happening to you. You are miserable. You are going through purgatory. And after you discover your own faults, your own mistakes, your own shortcomings, you go into inferno, where you have to burn away all these unnecessary things that keep you bound. Because after you do that, you rise to paradisio, where you live a totally free life. That poem was so loved by the Pope of the Catholic Church, he took it and incorporated it into church doctrine. Do your own research. Don't believe me. Sadly, in the way Jesus talks about hell.
So, by the way, the verse that I quoted does.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, do you know? This is why I'm saying it's important to talk to me, right? Don't talk to the cameras. You talk to me.
I'm listening.
Le verse lengi quotile.
Go ahead. I'm saying.
The reason why I'm saying this is because when we stop talking at each other, right? I'm not confused about these topics, right? Let's be very clear. No.
Don't go into defensiveness now.
No, I'm not going to defensive. I'm going to quote
the verse.
I want to highlight why. I want to highlight why.
Listen.
I want to highlight
quote the verse, please.
Because when
quote the verse, my brother.
Instead of speaking about what you believe about this,
don't sit there and judge my.
You want to make me look like a stupid person.
Don't sit there and judge my character. Don't sit there and judge my character. Right?
This is the verse.
I asked the question. I'm sitting listening.
If your hand causes you to sin,
don't you dare sit there and judge my character.
But Abba, you were not attacking.
Answer the question.
Abba,
answer the question.
Abba, that's why I've been.
I never attacked you. I'm saying
we
are speaking about knowledge yet. What you are saying, quote it. Don't sit there and say, don't do this and don't. Listen, Mama Autam, listen, please. Quote the verse. I sat and kept quiet for you to quote the verse. Don't talk at me. You now are talking at me. I'm sitting and listening to the verse. Answer the verse. Quote the verse.
But my point is that At that moment when I quoted the verse,
quote the verse.
the moment when I quoted the verse, you made me look like I'm stupid, like as if it's not there. But the verse is there. Okay? It's important. If you are talking to me, you talk to me.
Okay? Quote the verse, please.
Right? So this is Mark chapter number 9, verse number 43 to 44. If your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better that you enter into life crippled than for you to end up in hell.
And I just
Is that not hell?
I just described hell. What is hell in the Hebrew word?
But the verse
What is the Hebrew word for hell?
Does the verse say it?
What is the Hebrew word for hell? The verse says it. What did the Hebrew
we are
say?
clear. So-
No, we are not clear. What is the Hebrew word for hell?
But the verse
Sheol.
says-
Sheol. Right? Sheol. What is, according to the Hebrews, the Jews, not to me or you, the Hebrews, the people who coined the word, what is the meaning of Sheol?
Yes.
You said Abraham and the rich man were in the same place,
Yes.
different rooms, same place. So are you saying heaven and hell are in the same room, just divided by
I described how they-
what is Sheol according to the Hebrew meaning of the word,
Okay,
not the English?
Okay, sorry. Maybe I might have offended you. I didn't mean it
No,
like that.
you
I
can't
mean,
offend me,
okay,
Autiam.
no, it's fine.
I'm asking
It's
you
fine.
a question that you are failing to answer.
No, I'm failing. It's fine. But based on your understanding, I get you. Okay. But I'm saying let's have a conversation. Okay. Let's have a conversation. What I'm talking about, I believe. It's not going to change. We're having a
This is the
conversation.
problem when
So,
this
the
is
verse-
why I
yeah.
said to you from the very beginning, Autiam,
Yeah, please.
let us take beliefs, let us take doctrines, let us take what I believe, what you believe, and put it outside. Let's talk about historical fact. Because if we are going to speak belief, I've got 150 full-grown elephants in my pocket right now. And you can't dispute that, Autiam.
You like
what
Lama
I
elephants.
believe.
Lama elephants, yeah. Okay, let me quote another
No.
verse.
I'm telling you about belief, Ricky, here.
Let me-
Look, my man, I cannot argue your religion. I cannot argue what you believe.
Yes.
Hence, I'm not asking you about what you believe, Ricky. Please now.
But I'm quoting.
Let's be academic about
that's what makes it
academically.
cool.
What is the word hell in its original form? What is it?
Remember, there's different words for the word.
Ricky.
Like I said, these words are
Because
very,
the original meaning of the word will give you the meaning of what the people were saying. They were not talking about hell with the devil, with fire and burning.
There's different types of hell. There is
All right.
Tartarus.
Was
There's Tartarus.
the rich man?
There's Tartarus. There is
was the
Hades.
rich man? But those are culturally significant.
So-
Tartarus is Greek. Hades is Greek. Hades is even the son of Tartarus.
But that's what
He's an Olympian son. Hades is not a place, it's a man. According to Greek, you can't mix the two.
But they are-
when this was translated, it was translated from Greek. And the Greeks stated
No.
Hades.
But it was written in Greek. It was
This is
written
what
in
I'm
Greek.
saying, though.
Okay.
And the Greeks, their understanding of the underworld is Hades.
Okay.
And Hades is the son, the brother of Poseidon and Zeus. It's not a place, it's a man.
But when they wrote it, they didn't have the Greek mindset. They wrote it from a Hebrew perspective. These things mean different things, Abba. You have an interpretation. You have an interpretation. You have an
Hades is a
interpretation.
Greek word.
Let me
They
say.
cannot speak it outside of Greek context. They can't, my lord.
Abba, calm down. Abba,
Greek context.
you very-
It's a Greek word.
chill out. You're burning up. Listen. We are
It's not academic. This is beliefs. We are arguing beliefs here.
Okay.
Let's be academic,
Abba, let's
my
be
brother.
let's be very
Hades
clear.
is what? The etymology of the word Hades.
Okay.
Where does Hades
Before
come
we
from?
go to
is
the
it an
Hades-
English word or is it a Greek word?
Before we go to the Hades word, let's acknowledge something. I said this in the first part. These languages are very complex compared to the English. And so when they wrote, when the Jews that wrote, they were Jews that wrote it. Right? Are we clear on that? It's Jews speaking from a Jewish perspective.
Greek educated Jews.
You're talking about
Greek educated Jews. Hence they
And so they
wrote
never
it
spoke. And so
in
they never-
Greek. No, they spoke
never spoke.
Aramaic. They spoke their home language. They were
Yes.
educated in Greece.
Yes, but they're not speaking Greek mythology.
NgumXhosa, ndithetha isiXhosa, ndazama amabali wesiXhosa.
You're
Kodwa
right
I
about-
was educated in English.
You're right about that, but they were not teaching it from a Greek mindset. The Greek
Kanjani?
the
I cannot speak about Shakespeare from a Xhosa perspective. I'm a Xhosa.
Abba, the Greeks, the Greek mindset is what it is. But these guys were Jews. They were not speaking from. We just said it.
Educated by Greeks. They stood for Greek principles. Hence, I counted to you Pharisees, Sadducees.
You're talking about a different Christian. I'm
There
telling
were
you,
no Christians in the Bible.
we're going back there.
No, but there were no Christians.
Abba, come on.
Ricky, let's speak historicity, not belief here. Come on.
So-
So, belief out there, we are going to fight for 10 years.
No problem.
But if we speak fact, historical fact, there were no Christians at that time. There was no
We
Christian.
spoke about where the Christian comes from. We spoke about that. We broke
It's
it down.
a European concept.
The concept of them, they were
It
kicked
started
out.
in
No,
Turkey.
they were kicked out.
No, my
And
brother.
then when they went
were
out-
uncircumcised, Labantu. The difference between the Jews and everybody else, they bangena jwabu.
They went out.
Bangena jwabu.
They went out, and this is what then formed what the structure of Christianity is.
Abakwethu nizomzonda yazi nizothi abayelewa
Don't worry,
kakhulu,
they're fine.
babanika abantu i-chance. No, come on, for blood clot's sake, man.
It's okay.
What are Gentiles? What are Gentiles? What are
Let's
go
be
him in the Hebrew? Go him. Gentiles. What are Gentiles?
The people that are teaching the Christian
There are
faith
people
were
that are
Jews.
non-Jews. Non-Jews.
Abba.
In fact, let's fix it. Jews are a mixture of Gentiles and Hebrews because they were Jews from Patmos. They were Jews from all over the place. Jews are people who believe in the laws and traditions of Moses, and for them to become Jew, they had to circumcise.
Let me illustrate that. Let me illustrate because you have a version of Christianity, and it's fine.
I'm not speaking Christianity.
Okay, no, it's fine.
though.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
I'm not speaking
Okay, no, it's fine.
Christianity.
Let me
I'm not
explain.
attacking Christianity. I'm speaking about the historicity of what we are talking about here. Jews are people mixed because they follow the religion of Moses. And for them to do that, they had to follow the culture and traditions. They had to be circumcised.
Okay. So
It's
let
in
me
the book of Acts, chapter 2, on the day of Pentecost. You know that verse, right?
Let me explain.
When the tongue and the spirit came to them, and then there were Jews from all over, from Greek, from Patmos, from Libya, from Gupi. And they were all amazed. Why now these words are speaking in languages that we can understand? It means Jews are people from all over the place, are religious people, not a cultural people.
Okay.
Do we agree on that?
No. Just calm down, dude. Like you are all over the place.
What?
That's not offensive. That's not a good. Come.
Oh, okay. Elaborate, please. I'm fascinated.
You're not allowing me
How
to
all over the
speak.
place?
We're speaking about one thing, and then you skip to the
No, we
other
are speaking
thing.
about the historicity of what you are saying that you are failing to answer.
But Abba, you're not even.
And then
giving-
this is the problem about
There you
people in such situations. You fail to answer a question and then you attack me personally. You are saying you this, you are doing that. Answer the question and leave me out of it.
Okay. So let's clarify something here.
Are Jews birthed or are Jews a religious movement? Yabona, this is where now you are exhibiting, and I'm going to use an English word, don't take offense,
No.
your ignorance on the matter.
Yeah.
Right? Because what I'm saying to you about Jesus going to hell and no, this is Jewish tradition.
I agreed with that.
Pamela, this is Jewish stories, Jewish tradition,
Mm.
acknowledged by the church fathers because they put it in their books. Because now Jesus went to Sheol, not to hell, to release his ancestors, right? To Sheol, not to hell. Because the Hebrews, according to their culture, don't believe in hell or heaven. There is no heaven in Hebrew, in the Hebrew tradition. I studied the Hebrew, I studied the language, I studied the Kabbalah, their mystic expression, I studied the Talmud. There is no heaven in the Hebrew.
But
Aiko.
we established
Jesus
that the
did not
Pharisees-
believe in heaven. There is no place in the Bible you can show me that Jesus talks about heaven. And this verse is not a verse that shows that Jesus talks about hell, where people are punished by the devil. That's the concept of hell. This is a misinterpretation of the word Hades, which is Greek. And Hades is the son of the Titans, the brother of Zeus and Poseidon.
okay.
He's a character in Greek mythology
Okay. Okay.
that
Let's
found its way into Christianity. And then you misunderstood how it got there in the first place.